Greetings, everybody. I'm Walker Robinson, the host of your show, and we are in Springdale, Arkansas today. Abby Pierce's album release show. I played on this record. It was an awesome record. Go check it out. Abby Pierce's new record, Don't Call Me Darling. The title track, it's perfection. It's feminism, but it's pedal steel feminism. I absolutely love it, and she is exactly how she portrays herself on the record. I'm super excited for this, but a few notes. I absolutely forgot my action camera, so we're vlogging today on the big boy, and I only have one lens and one SD card, so we will see how this goes. Only play Sho-Bud pedal steel guitars. Here she is. Star of the show, Miss Abby Pierce.
In the flesh.
Are you ready for this album release show?
Are y'all ready? That's the question.
I listened to all the songs, got all the stops down.
Yeah?
So I should be ready.
That's right.
I hope.
I'm pumped.
I'm pumped too.
I'm so excited.
I'm pumped too. I'm ready to hear Josh shred.
I'm ready to hear you shred.
So there's this old man, he's like 80 years old, right? He's having this birthday party and he looks a little lonely. His friends want to cheer him up. They're gonna buy him some company, you know what I mean? A little companionship. So they do so, and about 30 minutes later there's a knock on the door and he gets up and he hobbles over to the door, you know, and he opens it up and this attractive woman says, "I'm here to give you some super sex." And he says, "I'll have the soup."
Good morning, world. Last night's show with Abby Pierce was absolutely awesome. I really enjoyed it. It was a great experience. Abby always has like great vibes going on. So I always enjoy that. Plus, she had a really pro band. Josh and John and Jeremy. Jeremy is an excellent producer, by the way. Check out his stuff at Jeremy Huddleston Music. He's based out of Central Arkansas, but he does awesome stuff. And I just really enjoyed playing with that band. It was a good time. Cons of that show, I really was not being a cinematographer at all. I had one camera set up with a 28mm, and it was so out of focus that it's not even usable. I've got like one song that's not out of focus, and I think I absolutely botched my steel part in that song. So just, par for the course. I forgot my little DJI camera, which is what I'm recording with now, and that thing makes it easy because it's always in focus. You don't have to worry about it. But yeah, it's anyway. So today, going to go track 7 South steel guitar with Scott Hoffman, and then going to have lunch with Epic Shots, and then going to play steel guitar tonight with Brad Waters. If you'll remember, like episode 2, played a show with Brad Waters. But yeah, I got a weekend off and Brad called me up, and so we're going to get together and play some really traditional country music. So should be lots and lots of steel guitar. But aside from that, I'm just going to try to get to town and get oriented on this 7 South record. I'm really ready to get it done. It's been a huge work in progress for a long time, and I think we're all just to the point where we're just ready to get it done. So anyway, we'll see if I can document this and hopefully in focus today. So in other news, I just made a significant financial decision today. I bought a Shure SM7B, which is like those microphones that like every podcaster uses, and I got to looking into it, and there's a lot of uses for it. Traditionally, with steel guitar, I do off-axis 57s, and for the studio anyway, and that sounds pretty good with the Black Widow. The problem is I lose a lot of low end with the 57. So I'm going to try today at Scott's to do an SM7B, see how it sounds. If it sounds good, voila. Call me Einstein. If it sounds terrible, which it very well could, then I will at least have a good podcast microphone for my podcast. So it's a win-win situation, but I'm really hoping it sounds good, because the biggest reason why I don't use in-ears is because the steel, to me, sounds so terrible through the in-ears. Like, you can mic it with the most neutral setup ever, and the steel still sounds like it's being played like on a direct line. It sounds abysmal. And so I'm just going to try with an SM7B and see how it sounds, because what I'm lacking is a lot of low end, and I know a lot of you that use in-ears are thinking, well, you need some more drivers in your in-ears. I've tried literally multi-$1,000 in-ears, and still the steel to me just sounds terrible. So if you have steel tips for in-ears, that would be awesome, because I am absolutely a boomer. I like a wedge. I like a passive wedge. I like PV stuff. I am a boomer at all counts. So if you've got in-ear tips for steel, that would be just awesome. But to me, it just does not capture the sound. And if I don't like what I'm hearing, I feel like this is a thing that relates back to my guitar days. If I don't like what I'm hearing, I will noticeably play worse. So last night we played a show and everybody used in-ears except for me, and I had a wedge, and luckily our sound guy was great. He mixed that wedge perfect, and so I was able to get a good tone out of the wedge, and so in return that made me feel better about what I was playing. It made me feel a little bit more risky, and so I ended up getting some pretty cool licks in, but everything was out of focus, so you'll never get to see that. It never existed according to YouTube. So that is just the life of a filmmaker, a person that's trying to vlog and play at the same time, which I have a lot of respect for anybody who can do that, because it is honestly quite a hassle.
got that nice little mellow tone.
Yeah.
And here's the 57 coming in. Just adds a little bite. That's a pretty good control. A real mellow song, you can just pull that one down. Even by itself.
Here it grabs that low. That's what I've been missing.
Yeah, that low
Yeah,
mid.
it grabs that low. Yeah.
It's just such a silky top end on that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's going to be our go-to. That way, controlling how much bite.
Yeah.
Because what I was having to do before was like, well, that needs mellowed out, so I'd just EQ it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, so then I'd split the EQ, so it would change throughout the song. You know, for like it would come up a little bit on the leads, and then I'd pull the highs
See,
down.
that's what we used to do. We used to do that at Stone Ridge. We would do a ribbon in a 57.
Okay.
And that 57 would have all your bite, and the ribbon would have that. But I think the 7B works better.
I like to have 2 7Bs on that.
Hey, next session I'll have mine. So yeah, 7B. It's a studio secret. On that, my theory was like, oh, 57 is the only mic you need. 57 is the only mic you need. Which in general, that's true. But when you start thinking about like what you're going to lay down on a record, and you've got the options, use your options. You know.
It's like when Tom Petty got a new front of house. It was a whole new production company. Guy comes into the meetings and he, pretty cocky guy, tells Tom, he goes, I know you like to use a 57 on your vocal, but he goes, I'd like to try some other options. Tom's like, okay, that's what the last guy I fired said. It was like, discussion over.
Yeah, I'm Tom Petty. I can do what I want. Right there where I paused.
what you were trying.
With epic shots here, Napolito's Grill, Harrison, Arkansas. Authentic Mexican music playing in the background.
The best.
Alright, so I've been listening to Working Man's Dead, Grateful Dead album, and Jerry Garcia was experimenting with the pedal steel, and you know, I'd listened to some live clips of him playing pedal steel and just wasn't really too impressed. You know, it is kind of a combination of all my favorite things like Grateful Dead, pedal steel, but the tone that he gets on the album version of Direwolf is to die for. It is really good pedal steel tone, and I'm just like, what was he using? That was nuts. I'm hoping he was using a Sho-Bud. But regardless, I mean, that was just a really, really good tone on that record. So I'm playing at the Hotel Seville tonight. I'm out in the parking garage watching the very last minutes of the Arkansas Razorback game. It's not looking the best, but that's a usual feeling, so nothing new in this camp. Guys, just got done playing at the Hotel Seville here in Harrison, Arkansas. It was a great time. Got to play some cool old tunes that hadn't got to play in a while. So thanks, Brad, for having me on with the band. It was a awesome experience, and I think I'm going to be here next Saturday too. So definitely a fun time. Ready to get back in the truck out of this extremely cold weather, but you know what? It's worth it, because another weekend of pedal steel adventures has come to an end, and I'm gonna get to sleep in just a little bit tomorrow. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope that you all have found some joy in this. Always mic your steel cab with a SM7B. Those things are phenomenal. All right, just whenever I thought my weekend of fun was over, I'm getting to do some Sunday session work. I had a friend of mine from Muscle Shoals, Alabama, ship me a track to play on. He's kind of wanting to get it done pretty quick, so I'm going up here into the mountains to a recording studio called Wild Hog. It is my own recording studio. It's actually my grandma's basement up here on top of a mountain in Newton County, and just gonna record that. I'm gonna score a couple of epic shots videos for Travis Holt Stories from the Hills, and then I'm just gonna, you know, see what all I can get done with 2 Shure SM7Bs and a Dream. Alright, so I've got the solo composed. I just gotta perform it to perfection now. That might have been it. Let's just see here. All right, now just got fills left to do, and then we'll be done. All right, there we go, folks. And that is it for this song.
That is so good.
All right, well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Now, did you cut it stereo, or you just send me? Did it just double the track?
It just probably doubled the track.
Okay, good, because I'll split it in half, and
Cool.
Because sometimes they'll get too thick, laying there.
Yeah.
And it, but man, man, yeah, I tell you, I'll start sending you work.
All right, good deal.
Yeah.
So one last thing, guys. If you are tracking from home, don't use a set of nice, lush, professional, driven headphones. Use a pair of these junky old cans from the 70s. Because if you can make them sound good in here, they will sound great on the record. I would like to wrap up the vlog by saying it's Martin Luther King Day. And I'm off work. But I got up this morning, got around, drove 30 minutes into work, and then realized it's Martin Luther King Day. Happy Monday. We got children watching this program, boy.